Imagine you facing this whiteboard in your classroom. It was white, clean, spotless, until someone drew a single black line in the middle of it with a board marker. Now my question would be, which one are you focusing? The spotless whiteboard or the black line? Hello everyone, my name is Amira Dinda Nuramalina, a 10th grader from State Senior High School 1 Sooko, Mojokerto. And today I would like to talk about this blood-curdling issue that almost every teenager had experiences at least once in their whole life. Insecurity in adolescence is that feeling of doubt and lack of confidence that teenagers usually feel about their body image, their abilities, and their social acceptance. It develops as they face many physical and emotional changes and when they compare themselves to others. Well, according to Indonesia Adolescents Mental Health Survey data, 15.5 million of teenagers in Indonesia had experiences depression, and most of them start from insecurity. But what if I told you that insecurity is a natural part of being human? Yet, they can often feel overwhelming and draining you down. But did you guys know that even from that simple emotion that people think usually is nothing, it can lead to something more serious? So now, let me take you back to the time of my life when all I could see was a single black line on an otherwise that spotless, bright space around myself, and how that flaws ended up coloring my whole teenage life. Ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm not that type of person who likes to play games in their free times. I prefer to scroll to my social media. Instagram, TikTok will be my escape, let's say. There are so many pretty girls on my homepage with their nice body, crackless makeup, and well-styled clothes. At first, I was just admiring them. But then I realized that I started to think further. I look at my own reflections in the mirror and I started to point out the part of myself that I don't like. Why am I so fat? Why can't my skin be as bright as them? Why my outfit never feel like suit me well? And moreover, I was too obsessed on pursuing the beauty standards I created myself. I skipped dinners. I thought that skipping meals to starvation was the propaganda I fell for on TikTok. Beauty is pain, they say. I pretended not to be hungry while my stomach growling for foods. It feels like losing my spark, which is the most important thing rather than worrying about my appearance. But then I also feel like I never be good enough academically. I failed almost every math test, even though I am studying last night. I get overwhelmed by chemistry, and also I lose like so many competitions that I joined in my field. I feel very unworthy and unlovable. I never be the smartest kid, never be the pretty one, never be so talented, nor never fitted in the most of popular friends group. But then I realized something. Life is kind of like that whiteboard I talked about earlier. We often get stuck staring at that one little black line in the middle of it and forget all the bright space around us. The bright space around us is what makes us as a human. I learned that it is okay, it is totally fine to have flaws. They don't make us less, but they make us human. And the more I stopped comparing myself to others, the more I realized that there are so many things of myself worth noticing. My strength, my effort, and the small victories I used to ignore before. It reminds me of my smile, my kindness, the jokes I throw to people that make someone's day. And from that moment, I perceived that I deserve love. I deserve happiness. So if you're still focusing on that black little line in the middle of the whiteboard in your life, try focusing on that bright space around you. And once you do, you'll realize that life is so much worth noticing. Life is not meant to be spent over focusing on your flaws, but focus on your self-worth instead. Thank you very much for your kind of attention, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.